King George Russell of Kingsley, Norfolk, first of his name, and thou shalt put some respect on it as of 28th of the 7th, 2024. How did he do that, Sway? How? This makes no sense. Because for the avoidance of doubt, one doesn't just beat Sir Lewis, Carl Davidson, Hamilton like that on tyres that are so much older. For the avoidance of doubt, he did 75% of that 44-lap race today at the Belgian Grand Prix on one set of tyres. What are you doing, George? Who is this chap? Well, he is a killer, is who this chap is. Now, you can say whatever you want to about George Russell's personality. Latte boy, any type of milk will do. That's who he is outside of the track, but rest assured, for the avoidance of doubt, he is an absolute killer. There's only been a few men in history who have won GP3, now called Formula 3, and then F2 in back-to-back seasons at the first time of asking. King George Russell, first of his name, is one of them. You only need to go and have a word with Jack Aitken to understand just how much of a killer this dude is. I think the F1 fan base, whether that's Colt LH, Charles Fossey, Max Verstappen fans, need to start putting some respect on his name. F1 aficionados have been saying for the longest time that this dude will be a champion very soon. Rest assured, you can take that one to the bank. But people have forgotten he's not insubstantial talent. You don't just beat with such frequency Sir Lewis, Carl Davidson, Hamilton in qualifying either. Yeah, he's 39 years old, and people say that the first thing to go will be a tenth or two off pace. But yet and still, that is Sir Lewis Hamilton still. What do you mean? 7-time champion, Singapore 2018, man who in his rookie season beat Fernando Alonso, 2-time champion, man who just vanquished the Reagan Meister Red Baron, one of the greatest peddlers that we'll ever see in Formula 1, one Michael Schumacher. That is the F1 maths, meaning therefore that we must put some respect on King George Russell's name. I didn't foresee that. I'm getting flashbacks of COTA 2021. Because for the avoidance of doubt, Sir Lewis Hamilton on fresher rubber, not too many men in history have managed to hold, abate that charge. No one. Max Verstappen in 2021, and now King George Russell of Kingsley, Norfolk, first of his name in 2024 during the Spa-Francorchamps Belgian Grand Prix. Make this make sense, someone. That was a drive for the ages. I just had a message from a friend. George Russell beat Lewis Hamilton fair and square. Don't let Colt LH tell you any different. I can hear the calls of sabotage right now as we talk. Lewis Hamilton was none too pleased in the cool down room, was he? He said, for the avoidance of doubt, that he thought the team had left too much grip on the tyres, had pitted him too early potentially. And whilst that might be true in real time, George Russell was the author of his own destiny. He made that call. Because for as good as the drive was, what was even better is the racing nous, his ability to walk his way through the race in real time, to manage for it, to optimise for it. Because again, George has come under a lot of stick of late, hasn't he? Always playing a strategic joker for no reason. When again, the outcomes were more negative than they were positive, trying desperately to do a Red Bull as they have done so many times on so many occasions in recent F1 history, but failing miserably, frequently. Well, oh no, not this time. He absolutely nailed that, played the joker perfectly, switched perfectly from a 2-stop to a 1-stop. Oh, and then, by the way, executed for it in real time too. Not everybody has tyre whisperer genes in them. Lewis Hamilton nails the tyre management each and every single time, does he not? Max Verstappen too, Fernando Alonso, man from Oviedo, Astoria too, George Russell as well. 75% of a 44-lap race around Spa-Francorchamps, which isn't kind on tyres. That's what George Russell did today. Put some respect on that chap's name. And Toto Wolff, for the avoidance of doubt, didn't look too pleased in the immediate aftermath, did he? I think he wanted Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton to win, and he's critically aware of the aftermath, what that post-race debrief will look like. Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton was none too pleased. There will be difficult conversations had. Lewis will want answers to a very many questions. Why did you pick me then? Where were the team orders? Who's looking to win or do better in this championship? This is my grand tour, my final stand. Lewis will be thinking, surely there's something to be done here. I dominated the race. Sir Lewis will be thinking, he barely even wanted to talk to King George Russell, first of his name, in the cool down room. So upset was he, nor did he want to sprinkle champagne on him neither, or have champagne sprinkled on him. Lewis was no showing, no selling the celebrations, and you can't blame him because he's Lewis Hamilton. And again, the context in all of this is really important. 7-time champion, Singapore 2018, 2007. He is the guy. The one chap on that grid he's not expecting to be beat by, not around Spa-Francorchamps, not from further down the grid than he started, is one King George Russell of Kings Lynn, Norfolk, first of his name. He's mentee even, and remember, they still have that relationship for the avoidance of doubt. Oh, the humanity. And there are other potlines that we need to pick at as well, are there not? Maximilian Verstappen didn't come through the field with the vigour that we'd anticipated. Again, we anticipated that he would leverage that OPDRS of the RB20. Didn't happen. There weren't a lot of overtakes to be had around Spa-Francorchamps, were there? So too worthy of note is the fact that Checo Perez, formerly known as the Mexican Minister of Defense, held up Max Verstappen, pushing his teammates into the grips, into the DRS zone of Lando Norris. At this week's meeting between the Helmut Marko, Christian Horner, to decide the future of Checo Perez, they will be having a conversation about that. Checo Perez failed to get the assignment and was prepared to risk it all on more than one occasion, detrimenting the man, the main character of the Bulls that are red, Max Verstappen's race. What are we doing, Checo? Surely, chap, as if your underperformance season to date hasn't been material enough. Lest we forget, chap, that there is a performance clause in your contract that states, as at the summer break, if you are further behind Max Verstappen than 100 points in the driver's standing, then they can scrap your contract, chap. The Tayavidya family were at last weekend's Grand Prix at Hungary. The key stakeholders, the 51% owners of the energy drinks company. And what did you do, Checo Perez? You see more barrier than you do checkered flag, chap. You've put that car in the Armco more than you have put it in Q2 of late. That's not acceptable. We know that you bring a lot of money, $30 million into the team, and that has to count for something, but so too does the Constructors' Championship. Surely at this point, Checo, you want to throw your chips in, mate. Call it a day. F1's not for everyone, nor is winning. There are sacrifices to be made to get to this. Is that the hill that you're going to die on, Checo Perez? Surely it would be easier to call it quits. Make way for young, hungry lions like Teo Pourchaire as an example. Felipe Drugovich, Liam Lawson. There are a dozen of them. Checo Perez, it's okay, chap. Sail off into the sunset. Enjoy your life, your beautiful kids and your beautiful family. Because sadly, this F1 endeavour has been proven season to date, courtesy of your material and frequent underperformance as versus your teammate and all of the other 18 drivers on the grid, that you, sadly, Checo Perez, are not fit for purpose, sir. What are we doing? And finally, we've got to put some respect on Mercedes' name. This is bonkers now, is it not? 3 from 4. Wins. What are we doing? And I've been super disparaging about Toto, the boy who cried wolf. He promised much and has failed to deliver over the past 24 months. But all of a sudden, it seems like they have a car capable of winning races, if not championships. Oh, the humanity. This coincides very nicely with James Allison's return. And if I'm a thinking man, then surely you've got to connect those dots together. Now, 3 in 4, they have themselves a proper proposition. They have themselves a driver lineup, one of the strongest lineups on the grid, being the tyre whisperer that is King George Russell and Sir Lewis Hamilton, 7-time champion. That's not to say, however, that Toto Wolff won't be looking to use this newfound success, this now star car, potentially the quickest in terms of race pace on the grid at Spa-Francorchamps this weekend, to lure and entice one Maximilian Verstappen as soon as 2025. Look here, Max, we've got this fantastic power unit that we're building in 2026. It will be the market leading one. Sack off Red Bull. Sack off all the acrimony that Christian Horner has brought to that team by virtue of Allegation Gate. Leave all of that stuff alone. Adrian Newey's not even at the team, Toto will say. Here's this contract. Here is a pen. Put whatever number you want on there. Ambassadorial role, Max? Is that what you fancy? Come over to the boys and girls at Brackley and Brixworth, sir. We will give you everything you want. This is a conversation that will be happening in real time. And I think this is a source of Toto Wolff's immediate discontent in the aftermath of George Russell, King George Russell's victory this race weekend. Oh, the humanity. But for the avoidance of doubt, we all want to put some respect on Latte Boy's name. Incredible drive, tyre whisperer settings. I, for one, didn't see that he had that in his locker. Oh, how I was wrong.